Welcome back to Talk Tickers, everybody, where we, break down earnings calls so you don't have to.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be diving deep into Cisco's Q2 2025 earnings call.
Cisco, of course.
Yeah.
Networking giant.
Networking giant.
Really interesting one this quarter because AI really stole the show.
Yeah, they crushed expectations this quarter. And Chuck Robbins, the CEO, sounded incredibly optimistic about the future and really calling out AI as a major growth driver. I mean, and the numbers back it up. $700 million already this year in AI-related orders.
That's a big number, and it's not just hype either. They are shipping product. It's silicon systems, optical systems. So, it's the real deal.
Yeah, not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
Walking the walk. And he said the revenue from these orders is going to start ramping up in the second half of this year.
That's right.
So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Now, their data center business also had a really strong quarter.
Very strong.
Their Nexus switching portfolio. Yeah. Significant growth, both from enterprise customers and those big, hyperscalers, web scale customers.
Yeah, and they're seeing a lot of demand from them. Robbins even mentioned on the call that these web scale customers are basically saying like, hey, if you can build more, we'll buy more.
Wow.
So it seems like they're hitting a sweet spot with their data center offerings.
Wow. Okay, and then let's talk about their security business. It's not seeing that same explosive growth we've seen in the AI and the data center segments, but it's still performing well.
It is. It's doing well. They're seeing a lot of traction with some of these new products like HyperShield, which is designed to protect against threats in data centers.
Yeah, so a little bit slower growth, but still positive, and some new innovation there, so that's good.
Absolutely.
And then, they are also making progress with the integration of Splunk, which they acquired last year.
Right.
Still early, but they're seeing some positive results there, like cross-selling opportunities, bundled offerings, that sort of thing.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, Splunk is doing well, so that's good to see.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the enterprise segment. That's been a bit of a mixed bag for them.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, but, overall, they're seeing continued recovery in that market.
Yeah.
But growth has been kind of uneven. But orders were up significantly year over year, and they did say they saw strength in international markets.
Yeah, that is good news for Cisco.
Yeah, so...
especially with the, worries about a global recession.
Right. Yeah, we can't talk about tech earnings these days without talking about tariffs.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room, yeah. So
yeah.
It's a big concern, obviously, for the whole industry. Cisco's no exception. But they say they're monitoring the situation closely, taking steps to mitigate the impact, adjusting their supply chain, all that good stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we've covered the key highlights. But before we wrap up, let's have a little fun with our This Is Not Financial Advice segment, where we throw out an outrageous but plausible trade idea.
Purely hypothetical.
Yeah. So given Cisco's really aggressive push into AI and Chuck's clear excitement about it, let's think big here. Maybe a LEPOC call option on Cisco expiring in, say, 2027.
Ooh, that is a spicy one. But yeah, do your own research. This is not financial advice. Talk to your financial advisor.
Of course, we're just having a little fun.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's move on to some key takeaways from this earnings call. What are you thinking?
Well, they are firing on all cylinders, I would say, especially in AI and data center networking.
Yeah.
They are navigating these challenges with tariffs, the enterprise recovery strategically, it seems. And, the future looks bright for Cisco, a lot of potential for continued growth.
I agree. They're definitely a company to watch in the coming years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, with Cisco going all in on AI like this, do you think they have the potential to become like the go-to infrastructure provider for this whole space?
I mean, that's a good question, right? I think to understand what makes Cisco's approach to AI different, we have to really go beyond the buzzword and look at the specific things they're doing.
Yeah. What makes them stand out? Everybody's, jumping on the AI bandwagon.
Well, what I find interesting is that they're not just focusing on one piece of the AI puzzle.
Okay.
They're kind of tackling it from all angles, right? They're talking about silicon systems, optics, even security.
Right.
So this kind of comprehensive approach, I think, is what sets them apart from some of their competitors who are only focusing on specific niches within AI.
So they're building the whole house instead of just focusing on one room.
Exactly. Yeah, they're creating a whole ecosystem. And, that's a smart move considering how much the AI infrastructure market is expected to grow,
Right.
They're really positioning themselves to be that one-stop shop for everything from the chips that power AI systems to the networking gear that connects them.
Now let's zoom in on the silicon strategy for a minute.
Yeah.
They've been making some significant investments in that area.
Huge investments. Yeah, they've really ramped up their silicon development efforts, and they're even running like parallel development streams for multiple chips.
Hmm.
So this allows them to target different AI use cases, and cater to the specific needs of their different customers.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, which is smart.
Yeah, exactly. They're hedging their bets and making sure they have a diverse portfolio of silicon offerings to meet, whatever demands the AI market throws at them next.
Right. And what about their partnership with NVIDIA? How significant is that?
That's big. And NVIDIA, obviously the big player in the AI silicon space, with their GPUs.
Right.
So this partnership allows Cisco to combine their networking expertise with NVIDIA's cutting-edge technology and create like this really optimized AI infrastructure.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah, NVIDIA gets access to Cisco's vast networking ecosystem, and Cisco gets, NVIDIA's leading-edge GPU technology.
Speaking of partnerships, let's talk about the Splunk integration. How's that going?
It's going, well, I think they're making steady progress integrating Splunk into their portfolio. They're seeing those positive results with cross-selling opportunities, bundled offerings, which, was the goal from the start.
Right.
And Splunk itself is performing well. So, yeah, so that's a good sign.
It seems like they're taking a pretty patient approach with this integration, allowing Splunk to maintain its own identity while also finding ways to kind of leverage its strength within Cisco.
Absolutely. It's not just, an acquisition and then slap a Cisco logo on it. It's really about, making it part of the bigger picture.
Right. And enhancing their overall offerings.
Exactly.
Now, all this talk about AI and data centers,
Yeah.
It kind of makes it sound like Cisco is only focused on those massive cloud providers and hyperscalers.
Yeah.
But, what about the average enterprise customer? Where do they fit into all of this?
Yeah, that's a good point. But, Cisco hasn't forgotten about them.
Right.
They are seeing a continued recovery in that enterprise segment.
Okay.
Orders were up significantly year over year.
So they're not abandoning their traditional customer base.
No, not at all.
In pursuit of the shiny AI dollar.
Nope. They recognize that the enterprise market is still a vital part of their business, and they're continuing to invest in solutions, that address the specific needs of those customers.
But let's face it, the enterprise AI landscape is still kind of a Wild West right now. A lot of companies are still figuring out how to even use AI.
It's true. Yeah.
So how does Cisco play into that?
Well, that's why I think their focus on building this comprehensive AI infrastructure is so important.
Okay.
They're creating the building blocks that will enable, enterprises of all sizes to adopt and implement AI solutions.
So they're laying the groundwork
Exactly.
for mass enterprise AI adoption.
Yeah, kind of like paving the way.
Now let's
Yeah.
talk about security for a minute. Cisco has always been a major player in that space.
Huge. Yeah.
But how does AI factor into their security strategy?
Well, AI is becoming more and more critical in cybersecurity because, as cyber attacks get more sophisticated, traditional security measures just don't cut it anymore.
So AI is like the new sheriff in town.
Right. Exactly. Because AI can, analyze massive amounts of data and identify patterns that humans might miss.
Right.
That makes it incredibly powerful for detecting and preventing cyber attacks.
And Cisco's incorporating AI into its security offerings.
Absolutely. Yeah. New products like HyperShield, which is designed to protect against those internal threats within data centers.
Yeah.
And, their AI-powered defense systems, those are prime examples of how they're really using AI to kind of supercharge their security capabilities.
It seems like they're recognizing that, traditional perimeter security just isn't enough anymore.
Yeah, the world's changed.
It's all about being more proactive and AI-driven these days.
Definitely, the threat landscape is constantly evolving, and security solutions need to keep up.
Right.
And AI can analyze data, identify patterns, respond to threats in real time.
Yeah.
It's really a game changer.
So they're using AI on both the offense and defense when it comes to cybersecurity.
They're investing heavily in developing these AI-powered solutions to protect their customers from these increasingly sophisticated threats.
Yeah, it's like they're building a fortress around their customers' data with all this AI-powered security.
It is a multi-layered approach to security, recognizing that no single solution can protect against every possible threat out there.
Right. So it's not just about, building a wall. They've got the guards on the watchtowers.
Right.
And maybe even a moat with some cyber alligators in it.
Yeah, defense in depth, using AI to bolster, every aspect of security.
So Cisco's hitting on all cylinders right now. They've got the AI momentum. They've got the security strategy. They're handling those tariffs, like a pro.
They are in a strong position, but like any company, they face, challenges and competition. They can't afford to just sit back and relax.
Right. Nobody can rest on their laurels in this business.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the biggest challenges Cisco needs to watch out for going forward?
Well, the AI market is changing so fast. What works today might be obsolete tomorrow, so they have to stay agile.
It's like running a marathon where the finish line keeps moving.
That's a good way to put it. They need to be constantly innovating, investing in R&D to make sure they're offering, the most cutting-edge AI solutions.
Right. And what about the silicon side of things?
Yeah,
They can't fall behind there either with, Intel and Google in the game.
that's a tough one. The competition in the AI silicon space is fierce. They need to make sure their chips are, you know, powerful, efficient, and cost-effective to compete.
It's a high-stakes game of silicon chess.
Yeah, and they need to be able to scale their production to meet the growing demand. If they can't keep up with demand, they'll lose market share to those who can.
Okay, and then there are those tariffs still looming out there.
Right, those are a big wild card.
They need to keep managing the supply chains well and try to minimize any potential damage.
Absolutely. Global trade is a huge factor for a company like Cisco.
And what about attracting the right people? I mean, they need the best and the brightest to keep innovating.
Oh, yeah. Talent is everything these days. The competition is fierce. So Cisco needs to attract and retain the best engineers, researchers, all of that.
So it's not just about building the best products, but building the best team.
Right. A company is only as good as its people.
Well, it sounds like Cisco has their work cut out for them, but they seem up for the challenge. They're going all in on AI. They've got a solid security strategy, and they're handling those external challenges like pros.
Yeah, they're definitely a company to keep an eye on.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Cisco's Q2 2025 earnings call. We hope you found it insightful.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about.
As always, stay curious, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.